Urban legends, tales passed from person to person, growing darker and more sinister with every telling. They blend fear with curiosity, leaving us to wonder, are they just stories, or is there something more? Tonight, we'll explore terrifying urban legends that have haunted communities for years. These are the kinds of tales whispered around campfires, shared in hushed tones, and never truly forgotten. Gather close, keep the fire burning, and let's begin. 1. The Hook-Handed Man. One of the most famous urban legends begins with a couple parked at a secluded lover's lane. The night was calm until the radio crackled with an urgent announcement. A dangerous criminal had escaped from a nearby asylum.
A curfew is in effect for all residents of the greater Los Angeles area. A highly dangerous patient escaped from the state hospital earlier this morning.
His defining feature? A hook where his hand used to be. The couple, frightened, decided to leave. As they drove away, the girl insisted she had heard something outside the car. When they finally stopped to check, they found a long, jagged scratch running down the side of the vehicle and a bloody hook hanging from the door handle. Some say the hook-handed man still roams dark, secluded places, waiting for his next victim. 2. The Smiling Man. A man walking home late at night found himself on an empty street, the silence broken only by the sound of his footsteps. Then, he saw him, a tall, thin figure standing under a flickering streetlight. The figure wore a suit, and a wide, unnatural grin stretched across his face. Slowly, the smiling man began to walk toward him, his movements erratic, like a marionette. Terrified, the man crossed the street, but the smiling man followed, matching his pace. When the man broke into a run, the smiling man did the same, never losing that horrifying grin. The man escaped, but he never forgot those lifeless eyes or the smile that seemed to pierce his soul. 3. Bloody Mary. No list of urban legends would be complete without Bloody Mary, the vengeful spirit said to appear when her name is chanted 3 times in front of a mirror. The legend varies. Some say she's a scorned woman seeking revenge, while others believe she's a witch trapped between worlds. Countless stories tell of people who dared to summon her. One girl claimed the mirror cracked on the final chant, and she saw a woman with hollow eyes staring back at her. Another described feeling icy hands on her shoulders and hearing a faint whisper, "I see you." Whether or not you believe the legend, one thing is certain. Mirrors hold secrets we may never understand. 4. The Black-Eyed Children. Late one night, a man was sitting in his car outside a convenience store when 2 children approached. They looked normal at first, asking for a ride home, but as they stepped closer, he saw their eyes, completely black, with no white or irises. An overwhelming sense of dread washed over him. The children became insistent, banging on the window and demanding to be let in. The man sped away, but the experience haunted him. Stories of black-eyed children have been reported worldwide, often by people who claim their presence brings misfortune, or worse. They say if you encounter them, never let them inside. 5. The Vanishing Hitchhiker. Driving along a dark, lonely road, a man spotted a young woman hitchhiking. She seemed lost, so he offered her a ride. She gave him an address and sat silently in the back seat. When he arrived at the destination, he turned to find the back seat empty. Confused, he knocked on the door of the house. An elderly woman answered and explained that her daughter had died years ago on that very stretch of road. Legend has it that the vanishing hitchhiker appears to those driving alone at night, searching for a way home that she'll never find. 6. Slender Man. Born from internet lore, Slender Man has become a chilling modern urban legend. Described as unnaturally tall and faceless, with long, spindly arms, he's said to stalk forests and lure people, especially children, into his domain. One story tells of a group of teenagers who ventured into the woods on a dare. They laughed at the legend, but as night fell, they started to see him, a shadowy figure standing impossibly still among the trees. One by one, they began to disappear, their laughter replaced by terrified screams. Only one returned, but she refused to speak of what happened, her eyes filled with an unspeakable fear. 7. The Man Under the Bed. A woman staying at a hotel felt uneasy as she got ready for bed. Something about the room felt off. She checked the locks, the closets, even under the bed. Nothing. She fell asleep, but in the middle of the night, she woke to a strange sound, a faint scratching. When she turned on the light, she found a note on the nightstand that hadn't been there before. It read, "You should have looked harder." Terrified, she fled the room and called the police. They found signs of someone hiding under the bed, but no one was ever caught. The legend serves as a chilling reminder to always trust your instincts. 8. The crying baby. In some neighborhoods, residents tell of hearing a baby crying outside their door late at night, but they warn, never open it. The story goes that the cries are a trap, a lure set by something sinister. Those who open the door are never seen again. One account tells of a woman who heard the cries and called the police instead of investigating. When they arrived, they found no baby, only strange claw marks on her front door. She moved out the next day, but the crying continued for the new tenants. 9. The sewer alligator. Urban legends often have roots in truth, and the tale of the sewer alligator is no different. In the 1920s, families in New York City kept baby alligators as pets. When they grew too large, they were flushed down the toilet, leading to stories of giant albino alligators living in the sewers. While most dismiss it as a myth, there are reports of sewer workers seeing massive creatures lurking in the shadows, their glowing eyes reflecting the dim light. Whether they're real or just a story, the thought of something monstrous beneath the city is enough to make anyone uneasy. 10. The caller from beyond. A teenager babysitting late one night kept receiving strange calls. The voice on the other end whispered, "Have you checked the children?" Thinking it was a prank, she dismissed it, but the calls continued, each one more menacing. Finally, she called the police. Minutes later, they arrived with a chilling revelation. The calls were coming from inside the house. Though the children were unharmed, the legend has terrified babysitters for decades. It's a stark reminder that sometimes the threat is closer than you think. If these urban legends left you looking over your shoulder, be sure to subscribe to our channel for more spine-chilling tales. Hit the like button and tap the bell icon to ensure you never miss a story that will keep you awake at night. Do you have an urban legend from your town? Share it in the comments. We'd love to hear it. Until next time, keep the fire burning and remember, every legend has a grain of truth.